Thanks for coming. Do we have any citizens from public comment time?
No, sir, we do not.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Could you call the roll, please?
Miss Ashworth.
Here.
Mr. Austin.
Here.
Reverend Bailey is not here. Miss Clymer is not here. Ms. Guzman is not here. Sheriff Hill.
Here.
Chief Keen.
Here.
Miss Lennox is not here. Mr. Phelps.
Here.
Miss Smith is not here. Mr. Torres.
Here.
We have a quorum, sir.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Could we have a motion to approve the agenda for the May 17th meeting?
Make a motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, thank you. Could I get a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting that was held on March 15th, 2023?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes. I'll second.
Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Superintendent?
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming. We go to page 12. May population data. Our top section is, of course, our operational capacity, 1 cell, 1 inmate. 871 with the modular building closed gets us down to 671. Management capacity, that's all beds filled, 1,320 minus 264 for the mod gets us down to 1,056 there. We go down to the next section, FY 2023, average daily population for 10 months, 461. And drop down to the next previous 12 months, average daily population 478. Transfers to the state system, we had an uptick in both months, 19 on March, 19 on April. Commits 695 in March and 631 in April. 701 releases in March and 648 releases in April. Process only by ADC staff through the electronic fingerprint live scan system. They weren't admitted to the jail. 68 in March and 71 over there in April. Department of Corrections out of compliance. Those inmates are sentenced to 3 years or more on felonies. We have 2 males and 1 female. So we're doing good there. Next page, page 13. March complex average daily population of 483. We did have a high count of 501. We haven't seen too many 500 numbers, but we did have 501 on March 27th. So 474 was the average, and we did have a high count of 500 on April 3rd. Of course, this is our historical system-wide, all the way back to 1983 FY 2023. Of course, 8 months there, 457 as the system-wide count, and FY 2015, which we had our all-time high, was 1,131. Okay. Certainly, I want to thank the board for the resolution that was sent to the County Board of Supervisors for the raises for the staff here. So 15% plus 3. That pretty well have basically stopped people from leaving over the last 5 weeks. I was getting a resignation just about at least 1 or 2 a week, and that has stopped, so we certainly appreciate it. Now we're in the recruitment stage now, because there's definitely better benefits. So our HR staff, we got upcoming job fairs In May, we're going to George Mason. June 14th, Fort Lee. June 15th, Veterans Job Fair in Maryland. June 22nd, Reliant Law Enforcement Job in Roanoke. 6/29, University of Mary Washington Job Fair in Dahlgren, Virginia. 8/24, Andrews Air Force Base. 9/13, Fort Lee. September 15th, we're going to have a job fair here on site at the ADC. And October 19th, University of Mary Washington Job Fair in Dahlgren. So, and we're on 17 websites now. So we're advertising, and our HR people are doing a great job. And we're in the recruitment stage now. So we're all looking forward to that. 66 vacant sworn staff, 10 vacant civilian, total 76. Authorized positions are 405. Prison Rape Elimination Act, nothing to report. Career development, 8 master jail officers completed career development program. These are training officers for new staff and first line for promotion to sergeant. 10 jail officers graduated from Jail Basic Academy, and 10 staff completed mental health first aid. 3 staff attended crisis intervention training, currently have 108 CIT trained. That's really good. 5 staff attended the Virginia Association of Regional Jails Conference. We talked about the main, the original building, the pipe replacement process, currently in the planning stage. We're waiting for a proposal, and we'll go from there. Evidence-based decision making since October 19, 2021, 749 boxes of Narcan have been given to inmates upon their release. Currently, 72 inmates are receiving medicated assisted treatment for opioid use. 10 participated in the drug court, and participants of the Veterans Docket graduated on April 12, 2023. COVID, 1 staff COVID positive, 0 staff quarantine, 0 inmates are COVID, and 181 current inmates are fully vaccinated. Yesterday, we modified our COVID mask policy. As it is now, staff would have to wear a mask, inmates would have to wear a mask if they're around each other. Certainly, we reduced that. Must wear a mask around a COVID positive inmate, and must wear a mask if working in a quarantine unit. We've reduced the days of the quarantine unit down to 5 days. You must wear a mask for a minimum of 5 days after a positive exposure when you come back to work. Staff must continue to check temperatures. So we have some happy staff walking around without the mask, so we've moved into a new era. Of course, inmates and general population will not be required to wear a mask. Inmates on quarantine will be required to wear a mask throughout the facility. Inmates that are processed through intake with COVID symptoms will be given a mask and placed on COVID precautions, and the inmate's quarantine time will be reduced from 10 days to 5. So we've made some progress there, which is good. There are a few other comments here. Let's see. Certainly want to thank the generosity of the Adult Detention Center staff here. We had food frenzy the county had put on, county attorney's office. The staff contributed $1,678, which equals 6,712 pounds of food. So they did a great job with that charity. We participated with Prince William Leadership. These are citizens and professionals in the community that want to learn about the criminal justice system. They were here early, about 7 o'clock the first morning. They went on tours of the facilities, and we had quite a few people here. And we did have a roundtable discussion over at the police station with the chiefs of the agencies, and that went over very well. Citizens asked great questions and want to learn about the system. On March 31st, we had a visit by the governor and his wife of Virginia. They came by. and they visited us, went on a tour. They also came to honor Good News Jail and Prison Ministry, Chaplain Perez and everything. After the tour, we went into the gym. He addressed inmates in the Good News dorm that were there in the gym also, along with staff and visitors and guests. So it was quite a day. Let's see. This will be our last meeting. We're going to be on YouTube now that COVID is over, and of course we've been accepting the public, and we will continue to do that to the meetings here. Okay, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Superintendent. Any questions for the Superintendent?
I have a question about the COVID protocols. How about professional visiting, where we've been required to wear masks? We still required to wear masks?
Only if the inmate is positive.
Okay,
And that'd be a non-contact visit anyway.
Gotcha.
So you won't need to wear a mask.
gotcha. Great. Is that put out to the bar? Do we need to put that out to the bar association? I can do that tomorrow. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, great.
Superintendent, any update on programs? What are we doing with programs?
Well, the programs are, I noticed on our program list here, they seem to be increasing by inmate numbers. Of course, they're not gonna wear masks in there, you know, anytime someone's positive, we'll start wearing masks. But we have seen a good uptick in, religious programs. We've had some graduations, for EED. Some of our, our work release programs and workforce, those numbers are down, because the population, we don't have that many that are qualified to be outside and so forth. So we do see that positive uptick in programs.
Captain Wesley, I think you contacted someone that I gave his name to for inmates on the work release program.
Yes, I actually went over there and did a tour of his facility and talked to him. He wasn't quite ready to accept some of that. He wants to start a school, and so I gave him some contact information who could help him out with some of that stuff. And once he gets that started, we definitely can have some, some of our guys can participate in this program.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Chairperson, do we need to let the record
Yes,
reflect
we
we
need
had
it.
all the
Yes.
people?
Ms. Clymer has arrived, Ms. Lennox is here, and Reverend Bailey is here.
All right, thank you.
I have
Welcome,
the times noted.
welcome. Thank you. All right, any other questions for the superintendent? You want to talk about the program I saw you at the court the other day with the judges? Yeah, you want to talk about that? Yeah, the court, yeah. So the board, some of the board members, maybe more about.
Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry, there was an open house, last week, I think it was on the 11th. We did an open house for the veterans docket and for the drug court. So basically it was just an opportunity to showcase the two programs, take questions from the public. I think it was mostly attorneys probably that came to hear about how individuals can get in the program and how the attorneys can help them get in the program. But it was for public information. It was pretty good because we got to hear the processes for both programs, how they're intaked into the program, and also there was one of the drug court participants spoke and was extremely powerful about what the impacts have been on her and the time that she's been in the program.
Mhm. And also that graduation that occurred.
Yes, there was a veterans docket graduation back on April 12th. We had 2 veterans complete the program, and Kostelaki he reduced the charges in both instances of the defendants that were in that program, and they had done very well in the program. It was very, very positive. The veterans docket is very similar to the drug court. Big difference is, of course, it's impacted veterans in the veterans docket, and they have mentors assigned to them, which are volunteers from the community, volunteer veterans that support them while they're in the program.
Mhm. All right, thank you. Any other questions? right, thank you, sir. Ms. Vienna?
Yes, sir.
Give us a budget update.
Yes, the letter that we have with our commissary budget, we are, nothing really to report there, except we did exceed our budget in our gym equipment. That's mainly the balls that basketballs, things like that we buy, maybe a new basketball hoop, that sort of thing. They're bought very infrequently, and we needed a little bit more than we had budgeted. So I have provided a resolution to just transfer $1,000 to cover that from another line in the budget.
I think, Chief King, you have the motion?
I have a motion to accept resolution 2023-3, transfer commissary funding of $1,000 from inmate supplies budget to increase the gym equipment budget for fiscal year 2023.
Second.
Any questions?
What line number, what line was that they transferred from?
Indigent inmate supplies.
Okay. Okay.
Any question, any discussion? Please call the roll.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Reverend Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman is not present. Sheriff Hill?
Yes.
Chief Keen?
Yes.
Ms. Lennox?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Ms. Smith is not here, and Mr. Torres?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Vienna?
I've also supplied the proposed budget for FY 2024 for the commissary. Just a few things to note. We are still working on identifying we have a committee now to work on the gym flooring. We're trying to find a product that's going to not be able to be, to end up as contraband or not be able to be tampered with. So that's been the problem. A lot of those are linked together, those types of floors, and they tend to get taken apart out in the gym. So we're in the identification of what type of flooring we're going to go with. Our inmate television infrastructure, that project has begun but remains, so I'm just carrying over the balance to next year. Also, we increased the reentry dorm budget. Captain West is looking at a reentry, potentially opening a reentry center for people on their way out the door, so that we're looking at potentially having some equipment and things to outfit that area. So, unless anybody has any questions, I am asking for approval of the 2024 commissary budget.
We'll give everyone a couple of minutes to look it over and see if they have any questions concerning the commissary budget that Ms. Vienna is asking us to approve for 2024.
Correct.
All right. Take a couple minutes, take a look at it, see if anyone has any questions. Ms. Vienna, if you want to, you can remind the board of where these funds come from and how we get these funds.
The majority of these funds come from the commissions that we receive on the inmate telephones and the commissary that the inmates purchase. So that's the bulk of these funds, and they are restricted for the benefit use for the benefit of inmates. So we're very we've always been very conservative about the use of them and making sure that we maintain that for the benefit of the inmates, and they are audited yearly by the county.
And I guess one of the things we want to make sure that everyone knows that these are not taxpayers' dollars.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
You need just to make a motion to approve that.
Please. Yes.
Make a motion to approve the new budget.
Second.
Are there any questions?
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, excuse me, please call the roll. My mistake.
Ms. Ashworth?
Yes.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Reverend Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman is not here. Sheriff Hill?
Yes, ma'am, yes.
Ms. Keen? Chief Keen, sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Ms. Lennox?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Ms. Smith is not here. Mr. Torres?
Yes.
All in favor pass that are here.
Anything else, Ms. Viana?
As far as, we need to extend the contract, for our legal services. So, that's one that the board does need to approve. Colonel, did you have I don't have the paperwork with me, but, we do,
It's for
As-
1 year, that's,
it's-
it's a 1 year extension.
a 1-year extension. And the contract expires tomorrow. But that's the problem with every other month. We were presented it right after our last meeting, so,
So all they need to do is, someone need to make a motion to approve the contract for a 1-year extension?
correct,
That's all we have to do?
yes,
And that's been approved by, the folks at the county?
yes, purchasing
Yeah,
has
purchasing, yeah.
provided all that
Okay.
information,
All right,
yes.
good.
How long was the original contract for? Are they 3-year terms?
They're 3 with a renewable, so.
I make a motion to renew it.
Second.
Any questions?
Is renewed for 3 years or for a year?
It's for 1 year.
1 year.
1 year at a
1 year.
time, I think, on the extensions.
Was there any, why are we not, do we put it out for bid ever
Yes,
and receive
Yes.
bids?
yes, we do,
Okay, did we do that?
we did. And she's
Originally,
within the
and
terms
this
of
is
her
within the
contract.
1 year extensions within the contract.
Okay, and so how many 1-year extensions are there?
As I recollect, there are 3.
Okay, and the board doesn't put out for bids every 3 years? They just do a 3-year and then a 1-year extension? Is that typically how this is done?
I think that's how most of the county contracts are done, if I'm remembering, because we have a few in my office, and they're for a specified period, and then a certain number of extensions, and then they have to be rebidded, because we do that. I don't know the years, it's like 3 and a couple of
Yes.
renewals or something like
3
that.
and 3, that's my
Yeah.
recollection, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good question. Any other questions? Could you call the roll, please?
Ms. Ashworth?
Yeah.
Mr. Austin?
Yes.
Reverend Bailey?
Yes.
Ms. Clymer?
Yes.
Ms. Guzman is not here. Chair Pell?
Yes.
Chief Keen?
Yes.
Ms. Lennox?
Yes.
Mr. Phelps?
Yes.
Ms. Smith is not here. And Mr. Torres?
Yes.
President voted yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Viana?
The only thing I will say, I will note from the budget is on the revenue side, on the revenue page, we do list the percentage for Manassas. That is 14.5, so that's higher than normal. But that's where we are for the fiscal year.
We need to get that number down.
Chairman, I got one comment.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm sorry. On July 1st, Captain DePoy is going to be retiring
Ah.
after a great career here at the Adult Detention Center, 30 plus. How many years you got now?
It'll be 36 years.
36 years.
July 20th, so I'm 20 days shy of 36 years.
She oversaw our transition projects, and that can be quite a few support services, with transportation, court escort, and everything else to come with that job, and she's done a great job. Wants to spend more time with her kids and family, so we wish her well.
Congratulations. Thank you. Well, you got one more you need to talk about retiring too. You
I
need to talk about her
was gonna
too.
wait till July if I can talk about that too.
You go ahead and talk about that.
Yeah, our Director of Finance, Carol, she's gonna be retiring well, she doesn't have to retire, but she's gonna be retiring come up on August 1st. And we'll certainly miss her. She was trained by one of the best, John Henry, and she's done a great job managing our fiscal part of this operation.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else, Ms. Viana?
No, unless anyone has questions.
No questions, just a comment. It's been a number of years. I think my first meeting as a young captain was with you and John Henry and me still arguing at that point the percentage of days that the city had in our bill way back then. And you are relentless. You're still doing that. Congratulations and thank you for your service. To you as well, where's she at back there? It's been a long time, back when we used to greet each other in the Sally Port.
Yes.
So
With
enjoy
your
your next
drums.
phase.
And Phelps too.
Yes.
Those were fun times in booking.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is election of jail board officers and appointment of jail board secretary. First, I think we have a motion to appoint Mr. Henry for jail board secretary for another year. Will we get a motion for that?
Make a motion. Second it.
Any questions? Thank you, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Ms. Henry, thank you for,
Yep.
thank you for what you do for us and the superintendent. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Next will be election for jail board chairman. Floor is open for motions.
I make a motion the sheriff continue in his role.
Second.
Do you think so? All right, can you get a motion to close the nomination?
Motion to close the nomination. So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now I guess we have to vote on, right,
Yes.
now we have to vote for the chairman.
Ms. Ashworth,
Yes.
Mr. Austin,
Yes.
Reverend Bailey,
Yes.
Ms. Clymer,
Yes.
Ms. Guzman is not present. Sheriff Hill,
Yes,
Chief Keen,
Yes.
Ms. Lennox,
Yes.
Mr. Phelps,
Yes.
Ms. Smith is not present, and Mr. Torres.
Yes.
All present voted yes.
thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the trust you put in me to work with the superintendent and staff. Certainly it's enjoyable. I've been knowing them for a long time. It's always a pleasure to come over here and work with the superintendent and staff. So thanks for the confidence that you put in me. Now we need a motion to appoint I need an assistant to help me out. So we need an assistant. I'd like to make a motion for Chief King to be our assistant to the board.
Why don't you let me make that motion, Mr. Chairman?
Sir?
Why don't you let me make that
Well,
motion?
go ahead, sir, go ahead.
I move that Chief King be our deputy.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Now we
Close
have
the
to
nom-
make a
close the
motion to
nomination.
close the nomination.
We're
Close the
good.
nomination,
So. Second.
second, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Now we have to make a motion for him to be the assistant now, right?
Just vote on, you can just vote now.
You can vote now, yeah,
Be vice chair.
Ms. Ashworth,
Yes.
Mr. Austin,
Yes.
Reverend Bailey,
Yes.
Ms. Clymer,
Yes.
Ms. Guzman is absent. Sheriff Hill,
yes.
Chief Keen,
Yes.
Ms. Lennox,
Yes.
Mr. Phelps,
Yes.
Ms. Smith is absent. Mr. Torres.
Yes.
Congratulations, we'll work together again.
Yes, sir.
Look forward to it.
Appreciate
Look
your
forward to it.
confidence. Thank you.
sir. Thank you. Next, jail board comments. And I'm gonna start over here with Deputy Chief. Any comments you have for us? Any news briefs going on with the police department in the county that you'd like to tell us about?
Well, we had unfortunately triple homicide yesterday. Seems to be domestic related. Still on the investigation piece, but what we've released right now is a very unfortunate domestic situation where I believe the son was the primary aggressor and was ultimately killed during a struggle as well. So very traumatic case. Outside of that, we're staying busy with everything else and with Police Week. Condolences again for Deputy Myers last year,
Mhm.
recognizing his loss this year. So we'll move forward.
Thank you. How's your recruiting efforts? Is it just like the rest of it? How's they
We're
going?
we're feeling the same thing that the Colonel just had mentioned. Ever since the raise, we've been able to stop people leaving. We still have a few here and there, but it's starting to slowly get some progress. Our last academy class was started 26. We have another one starting on July 10th, which will be probably around between 25 and 30. So we're starting to gain some momentum. Hopefully we can keep that up. We're up to 4 academy classes now a year that we're putting through, just to try and catch up the numbers. We're still about 80, should be about 78, 77 vacancies within the police department right now. It's just over 10%.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ms. Ashworth?
Yeah, I don't really have any updates from the Commonwealth Attorney's Office.
All right, ma'am.
Things are going well.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Reverend Bailey?
And I'd just like to extend my congratulations to the retirees. That's a big deal. I hope you enjoy your time. Don't be like me and find fillers for time and realize that's it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next.
The only real update I have that is pertinent to this meeting is that you all may remember that we started in March with an initiative to gather books for the library here in the ADC, and it concluded on Friday or Monday. We have a meeting next week, maybe with Captain West, to talk about it. It was region-wide. We got books from Arlington and Alexandria and Loudon and all over. And as of right this minute, and we haven't finished, there's like 2,500 books. I don't know where you're going to put them all, but we'll cross that bridge next week. But all new or very gently used paperback books in Spanish, in English, manuals, how to, start up in trades. And so a lot of really diverse and good books for the population here. And the community response was just overwhelming. Like it was, we heard from everyone wanted to participate in this. Until finally I was like, we can't do this for like 5 more years because we don't have the bandwidth to do it. And so anyway, it's been a huge success. We're going to be very excited to bring them here, in the next couple of weeks, talk through logistically what that means in terms of where you're going to put them all and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, we're real pleased with it. We hope it makes an impact on the clients that we have in here and the general population.
I'd just also like to congratulate the retirees. That's very impressive, and I know you've made tremendous contributions during your times here. Thank you. And I'd also like to thank the superintendent. The recruitment efforts are obviously very robust, and it sounds like your HR team is doing a great job finding quality people.
Yes,
So.
indeed. On the 3rd floor up here, where the executive staff is, including Carol and Cindy, it's 200 years of experience.
Wow.
So,
That's great. Yeah.
Mr. County Executive, and tell us about your new job.
Well, it's not really a new job. I'm just acting as a DCXO for general government until somebody comes into the position. So I expect that it will be a couple of months until they recruit the permanent one. I'm not interested in the position. I didn't apply for it. And but at the time that I'm there, I'm trying to do the best. But I'm drinking from a fire hose at that place. It's another view of the county from a different perspective. From the other side, I want to congratulate both of you on your retirement. Please travel and do the things that you always wanted to do and didn't have the time to do. And be happy for that. I just wanted to do a segue of something that happened. Everybody knows here that Congressman Connolly's staff was attacked by a person that was reported to be schizophrenic. I want to tie that with the CRC. We're going to tie that with the efforts of the county to create in the county a crisis receiving center at the old Gander's retail store, which should supposed to open next year on 24. That's the effort of Supervisor Bailey's and with the support of many other groups. It is important because that could affect most of the things that are happening, stabbing, domestic things, where people are just mentally ill, have no treatment, nowhere to go, and they just commit these crimes and they just have to be processed like everybody else. When we open that, whenever there is a crisis for a young person or an older person, there would be a place to go that the person could receive treatment, and we may avoid having to bring people to the ADC and through the police system and save lives that way. And everybody's on board. The governor is on board and was there at the dedication. And this is not partisan. This has nothing to do with politics. This is good government trying to do the best for Prince William community. And I thought that I had to mention that here because I wish that that was successful and we had less people committed, less people processed, if we could have places like that. And that's my comment.
You know, certainly, I know the police department, we support it because sometimes we have to transport people all over the state. So if we got some place locally that we can take people, it'll save a lot of time to get people to treatment. So certainly we support that.
Is this going to be residential?
No, this is a crisis receiving center. There will be resources to be linked to for longer treatment, but it will be the place where someone is acting up somewhere, can be treated there immediately and then referred to a place and taken to a place.
It's larger than the one in William-Manassas at the CAC Center, right?
Yeah, it's being dubbed as a 23-hour facility, so their goal is within 23 hours to get that person who's in crisis into somebody else's care for that crisis. And if it has to go to a TDO route, they have the capability of handling that outside of, so they're not leaning on law enforcement to handle that anymore. So it's going to be a game changer for us. It's modeled after, the company has a facility out in Arizona that we've gone out and toured, and everybody there speaks very highly of the facility. So we're looking forward to it.
We still may have to transport to a long-term facility, but.
Potentially, but those numbers should go significantly down.
It really takes a lot of the work that's been done up to this point with CIT and Crisis Assessment Center and us in the system being more aware of people with mental illness that come intersect with us. It sort of takes it to the next level. And it's going to be a model, I think. It's something for us to be proud of.
Yeah, for those not involved in the system, it's a game changer, as you said. It's just this weekend, we had 2 commitments, started on Friday, didn't get released until Monday, so that's 2 officers around the clock, every one of those days, that's not out responding to other needs in the community. So that's the benefit we're hoping is get these crises handled on that end before we're needed. Very
Manassas is going to be participating in this center also?
Yeah, it's a regional facility, because state money's being used, so.
Great.
So I might know a little bit about this. And thank you, Ronald. I was going to say something that was kind of weird for me
I
to
know.
say. So this is actually part of a larger effort that there will be partnerships probably with this county and other counties in the state government. But this is a huge first step. A huge first step. And it has been a lot of coordination for a lot of moving parts to make it move as fast as it has occurred, from vision to groundbreaking to funding, and of course it'll have to be staffed as well.
Pass off a thank you to your wife.
I will.
She has put a great deal of work and a passion for this, and many hours speaking with elected leaders down the state. So thank her.
Thank you for that, I will, Chief.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you. All right, sir.
Well, I'll be probably a little redundant, but congratulations on the raises for your employees, and I hope it helps with recruitment and retaining people. I think it goes a long way to showing the value that the jail staff and civilian and sworn staff really bring. So I'm hopeful for that. I'm glad the board supported it as well. This board as well as the board of supervisors is great. And congratulations to Carol and to you as well, Cindy. We're gonna miss you all. Worked with you both for a long time. I didn't have as many animated conversations with you as I did John Henry, who's very interesting to talk to. But nonetheless, you both contributed so much for so many years, and so you're gonna be really missed. But the best to you in your new lives.
All right, thank you. Chief?
Just to the Colonel and his staff, if you've never had an opportunity to attend one of their graduations, that number may not sound like much, 10, but getting the right people is more important than just having numbers. And you can see that excitement, the commitment, and the passion in those graduates on those days. It's always nice to attend.
Yeah. You know, one thing too, and I want to commend the ADC staff because they were really engaged with county board members. They sent emails, they met them in their offices, and they actually spoke in front of the county board also. So they did a great job. I think they're the ones that put it over top.
All right. I think a lot's been said. I have no comments. I think I've talked enough. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you for coming and have a great evening.
Thank you.
Mr. Foster,
Oh, this is
I
no.
seconded it. Was it- I got the second.
Sorry, Gainesville.